Chicago Bears taking on the Minnesota Vikings.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to one of our favorite spots, venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Bears team entering play. They come in off a loss in the season opener, which doubled as the home opener.
And when you lose that way, at home, season opener, it almost feels like 2 losses. So it's a big fight to get yourselves ready to go to play the next week.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that 2nd win in a row.
They will run for the first time with David Montgomery. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
David Montgomery, the ball.
The numbers on the ground for Montgomery in last week's affair. 14 carries, 54 yards.
And partner, I thought it was a lot of fun for us to be able to sit in on their film session with the offensive line. We saw how they blocked it up last week to pretty good success, and we see what their game plan is for this week. They expect that defensive front to be someone they can move.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free. And it brings up 4th down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Fielded just inside the 30. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. A run there with Cook on 1st down, but it won't net him much, maybe a yard. 2nd down coming up. There are the numbers for Cook from a week ago. 18 carries, 61 yards, and a touchdown.
And to me, the goal is the exact same thing as last week. Get him the ball early and often. I think he's got another big game in him in this one.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Play action. It's Jackson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
But when you're going up against a talented receiver like that, you just know that they're going to bring more people to him, right? They're going to double cover him every chance they get.
I think that is what we're going to see all game long. An early taste of that double, maybe even sometimes triple coverage we might see.
Yeah, I think what they're counting on, his talent to sometimes beat that double coverage. Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game, and they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion, guys a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went
and
3
now
and
they
out.
have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first time. I'll try to do better here. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. On 2nd down, Montgomery. And yet again, he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Great job by this Vikings defense. 2 yards the loss there. Now 3rd and 14.
2 yards.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Intended for David Montgomery.
Looks like a second empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you come in off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession, it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
Here comes the Bears punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. It's fielded at the 45. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And this one complete to Smith. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
To Herb Smith. 4 yards.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
Number 33.
In today's NFL, you hear all the time about stretching the field and creating space in order to run plays. A toss play will help accomplish that because now you're pushing a defense to chase you all the way to the edges and to the sideline. That's a nice run. Probing now early to try and get things done later.
Complete.
13 yards as the Vikings pick up the 1st down.
First down, Minnesota.
They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And give him about 3 as he gets it down to the 22-yard line.
Kamara, the ball carrier.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
A 3-yard pickup. And it's 3rd down.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
On 3rd down, Jackson. That'll be complete to Cook. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done.
Complete.
10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
10. And
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara.
complete.
3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
3-yard pickup.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
11-yard line.
Back to the ground, Cook. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota.
To number 7.
A 5-yard touchdown. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his second season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook. Not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses. Also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. David Montgomery ready to take the field for the Bears' next possession.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page. Well, as we get ready for 3rd down, let's go back and recap here. The sack on the first play of this drive, that threw a wrench in what they were trying to accomplish because they were compelled to throw the ball on 2nd down. A running play was not in the works. And that incompletion set up another passing down here on 3rd and long.
That's caught by Montgomery. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. 5 yards, not enough. And it'll be 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down, they just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
At their own.
Minnesota now ready for their next possession. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down.
At the 30.
The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
Tackle made at the 38-yard line.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Jackson from the shotgun. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I'll tell you what, these last couple of drives, much better from a defensive perspective. They gave up a touchdown on the opening drive, and then after forcing a punt on their last possession, it looks like they're going to get the football back again.
And it fights through one man. Well, a solid punt, but also a nice return there of 14 yards. And the Bears take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
Back in Chicago, ready for the 2nd quarter. It's the Bears in possession as they've got it with a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
1st down, here's the run with Montgomery. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Ball carrier.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Incomplete.
The Bears on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 8. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Now left side on the swing pass. Kamara's got the first down and then some. And finally taken down at the 36-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. That one goes for 24 yards.
First down.
Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
At the 33-yard line.
On second down, Kamara. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
He's brought down.
That call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And down to the 16-yard line.
Tackle made at the 16-yard line.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. Here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
Gain of 4.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They go play action now. Jackson. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. Call it a loss of 6 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd down and 12. From the gun, Jackson drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And they're going to drop him well shy of the first as he can only make it to the 11. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Bears, nothing.
So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Chicago offense set to get started. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep him warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
1 yard.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
And able to find Graham, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And quickly into the hands of Robinson. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he finds Montgomery complete. It's a gain of 7, and it'll make it a 2nd down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 29-yard line.
A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his 2nd week of the regular season. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
Intended for
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. And Daniil Hunter, he's the one who gets in there and brings him down to the ground.
Yeah, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a 2nd one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
And this one is right through. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. Open here, Adam Thielen. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
How about a guy proving his worth in different ways? Had the big play in the run game to play before. This time, they go right back to him in the passing game, and he comes through with yet another big play. That's why you work out so hard in the offseason, so you can stay on the field and accumulate big plays.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They go play action with Jackson. Sliding out of the pocket. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Jackson. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now, just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Jackson will throw again. throw there going to be incomplete.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
Their own 28-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
2nd and 11 at the 27-yard line.
So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go.
Bears 3.
The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. So here are the Vikings to take over. Last week, they got the victory against the San Francisco 49ers. They've got the lead in this one as well right now. They start the second half with Kamara. Space to maneuver at the 40 as they finally wrangle him in at the 48. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
It's Kamara in the passing game. And he is down at the 48. A pickup of 4 that started at one 48-yard line and ended at the other.
4 yards on
well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
The tackle made.
Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense the next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Play action. Now Jackson. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete. It was Roquan Smith who got his big hand in there to knock it away.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. They get this out quickly to the left side. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a 3rd here, and it's good for a first. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Back to the ground. It's Kamara. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
From the 31, Jackson. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 18. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
13 yards.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
A gain of a yard.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
At the 17-yard line.
From the gun, it's Jackson. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something.
And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Alexander Madison, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
First and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger. But no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing. And try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Here's a quick hitch route and the throw complete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Steps away to his left. Hit as he throws, and the ball is out. It's a live football. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. A 40-yard punt, no return, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Glad you're with us from Soldier Field in Chicago. Third quarter here, 2nd and 10. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And that will be incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
And they call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And that will come the offense as they take over. They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
Number 32, David.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
The quarterback taken down and sacked by Anthony Barr.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
And he finds his tight end, Graham. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
It's a 40-yard punt, but they lose yardage on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. How do you break down his game so far? Just the one touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't, not until you balance it with the error side, you know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game, but that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
7 yards. And it's 3rd down.
He may try and run for this. He's got a 1st down and then some at midfield. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
It's a gain of 23 yards.
Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react. Even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL, they're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
Brings up
back now at Soldier Field. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. And he'll be taken down at the 34.
Wide receiver, the ball carrier.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st.
And the Vikings 1st down.
Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. And this one complete to Smith. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. 13 yards as they've got the connection working. His 2nd catch in a row, 1st down. And Jackson throwing once more. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal.
Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. Robert Quinn in there for sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. The offense stays out there. A big challenge here from this far back, but they're going for it on 4th and goal. Jackson now. And they're going to try the screen. It's complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings.
Touchdown.
From 6 yards away. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Big 4th down conversion for the score and the defense. That is a tough pill to swallow.
The kick is
big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
Now this will make it into the end zone. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
35-yard line.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field. Not really.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. They brought the house that time on the young rookie, maybe a little rattled through the pick.
And you have to be prepared for a lot of pressure as a rookie quarterback because most defensive coordinators are going to test you that way. So when you see that, the ball's got to get out of your hands quickly, and that means your receivers have to understand they have to break off their routes quickly as well.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. And down inside the 15 he goes. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. A good gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front. Good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up the 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
Mike Zimmer got to be unhappy with how that turned out, and the Bears will get the football back. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th. But they didn't get it.
Guaranteed, it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
Rolling to his right. He's going to take off with it. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
Gain of 2 on the play.
Nice job there defensively. A great time to dial up a blitz.
And give him credit under center instead of throwing it away. Actually a pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing yardage. The catch is made by Riley Ridley. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was trying to find Anthony Miller there, and it's 2nd down.
Incomplete.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go for the 40. He'll run it. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Good running there by Kamara on first down as he takes this ahead for a gain of 5.
The ball carrier.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 44-yard line.
They run it again with Kamara. And he's got a first down there after a gain of about 12 as the clock will stop right now for the 2-minute warning. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're
boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
Taken from about the 12. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
At their own 28-yard line.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
First and 10.
Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now the throw here complete on the right sideline. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
It's a gain of 5.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And that is incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Comes Minnesota, and a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now defensively they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
First down, Minnesota.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Again, it's Kamara. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
He's got the first down inside the 10. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on first and goal. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, little insult to injury here late in the game. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So for the Vikings, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, for the Bears, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.